Hello YouTube, Rob here from Milwaukee Bikers, and I got a good one here for you today. It's my top 3 things that I learned about my infotainment system on my 2024 CVO Street Glide that you might not get. I mean, I'm sure it's in the user guide somewhere, but does anyone ever read the owner's manual? Really? I mean, you reference it, right? If you're trying to figure something out. Otherwise, you just rough it. So I learned a few things riding a Sturgis, and I'm going to share them with you today. Here's my top 3. Okay, so first thing is navigation and how easy it is to add another point. So I'm going to put one in here, and then we're going to look up another spot. So I'm going to a place called copy something or other. So I'm just going to search copy. I need better information than that. Okay. What's bad is I was just going to ride over there without directions. I would have been completely lost. It's in town. I know roughly where it is. Okay, found it. It's copy master. And so, oh boy. First you gotta be able to type it in. Look at how easy that is though. Holy cow. That works pretty good. 1,700 miles away. That ain't right. Okay, so now, when it does that, you just put in the address. So now we're gonna put in 105, 10 North Port Washington, and then put in Mequon. I usually put in the zip code, but that's enough. And then here we go. That's the one I'm looking for. And then, oh, so it'll show you different routes. I don't want to see different routes. I just want to take the route. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Okay, and I'm going to put this in biggie mode, because if you go in here and you change it to touring layout instead of cruise layout, then you get to see the whole screen pretty well here. Okay, so now this thing's ready to go, and I'm already previewing one of my things. Okay, so thing number 1 is how easy it is to add something else in. So watch this. I've already got my route planned, right? 12 minutes to get there. It's 4 miles away. That's where I gotta go. So I'm going to act like I need to get gas, okay? And so in order to get gas on the way, here's how you do it. You go to the points of interest. So actually I'm gonna escape out of this. Show you guys again. Okay, so let's say I gotta get gas on the way. So if you go here and go to points of interest and then look up gas station, it's super easy. And I've actually done this many times just riding the motorcycle on the way. And here's a gas station right next to where I'm going. And so you just pop that thing in there, and now you've got updated directions taking you to the gas station. And it'll take you there, and it'll take you to where you were headed the first time. And so still super easy to do that. And I just love that. One of the things though, because that happens a lot on a road trip where you're riding to Sturgis like what I was doing, and then you're out of gas and you're like, I need to know where the gas station is. And so when you're on the freeway, it'll show you multiple options, and you can just look and see what kind of range you got, sync it up with the gas station you want to go to. Super easy. But here's the cool thing about the map. So right now the map is super zoomed in, right? And it's like, good gravy, man, I don't need to be that close. And there's no buttons to zoom it out. Well, after much monkeying around, I discovered that if you double tap it with 2 fingers, it will zoom out. This is the key. This is the, oh, when I discovered this, it was so magical. Now, one thing, I have tested this. If you put your 2 fingers close together, it doesn't work as well. If you put them far apart, it works way better. So watch this. I'm gonna double click with 2 fingers, and it actually worked just fine. If you single click with one, or if you double click with one finger, then it'll take you in. And if you notice, normally what it does is it takes you off and then you have to recenter. So if you ever get that recenter up, make sure you hit the recenter button because it will stop tracking the bike. But if you double click with your fingers farther apart, it works every single time. And it'll zoom you right out, and it's still centered on the motorcycle, and it'll give you a much better view of where you're going and what you're doing. And then again, one finger tapping zooms you in. And so you can go out and you can go in. And that was wonderful for me because I hate driving. You know, you're going 80 miles an hour down the freeway and you want to see what towns are coming up, right? Well, you don't need to see 20 feet in front of you, which is all the nav defaults to. So that's thing number one. Thing number two, and this is awesome too. So normally when you are in regular cruise mode, so I'll go back to that. If you go in here and you're on display and your layout is in cruiser mode, which is the way I normally ride, this is what you see, and you get this information over here, this trip information. And in order to toggle through these, so you see I got the temperature and my range. In order to toggle through them, over here on the left controller is this guy right here. And you press this button here, and this information goes through some things. And so shows you the tire pressure, which is great. And then it shows you the direction, compass, trip A with gas mileage, trip B with gas mileage, and then back to the original one that I was on. This is my favorite one. Now, that's a lot of great information, but if you remember on the old nav system and on the old bikes, on the old infotainment, there was some spots where there was some more information than what I just showed you. And that, my friends, that's in the touring layout. So when you go to the touring layout, then you get a whole new set of things. So let's go and check that out. So you're on cruise right now. If we go back to tour and then we open up the nav again, now when you're in the nav and you press this button here, you get, ta-da, ride info. Now I kind of question some of this stuff. I'm like, why is that on there? Like the calendar? Okay, yeah, I know it's the 8th, but I don't know, maybe you need that when you're out in Sturgis. Anyway, it's on there. You get the temperature, you get the range, and then look at what else you get. Mine's liquid cooled, so now you get this. The water temperature is at 60 degrees. So you can actually see what the temperature is of the coolant in the bike. Well, that's a cool ad. And then you see the compass is right there in the middle. So you get a lot of stuff on just that page. Now, you can see some more. So you just keep clicking that button. And now you got trip A. And instead of just, what was it, miles and miles per gallon, now you get average speed and time on that trip. So when I start riding this trip, it's going to start adding time to trip A. And then you get trip B too. And so you'll get to see the time on trip B between fill-ups if you're riding all day. And then tire pressure with actuals and targets. And then back to regular. So that that little screen with the engine temperature, the coolant temperature, that was a new one for me. I'm like, ooh, check out what I can see now. So it only works when you're in touring mode. So you got the whole screen here set up on the map. But once you have it in that mode, man, it works great. And then the last thing that I have for you, and this one's cool. So let me set up my phone. So my phone is ready to play. Okay, so music is going right now on my bike. Okay, this little pause button here paused it. Now I'm going to turn the bike off. And I want to show you something cool, because there's a couple different ways to do this. Okay, I got the beep beep. I'm going to turn it back on again. Hopefully the beep beep was enough time for it to not be connected to the bike. Actually, it wasn't. So because I just turned it off and turned it back on again, it kept the Bluetooth connection. So that's another little secret tip that's connected to this one here that I'm going to give you, is that if you just turn the bike off and turn it back on again, it's still connected to your phone, which is pretty nice. I hated that about the old bike. Just as soon as you cut power on the thing, it was done. It was disconnected. Forget about it. On the new ones, it stays connected for a little bit of time, and you actually have to wait for it to turn off. Now, under normal circumstances, what it does is it goes through its startup, and then you'll see these guys down here. These little icons starting to light up. And then you'll also see a message up top, and I'll show it to you again here, because it showed it to me right away. Right up here, it's about to say that we're connected. You see that right there? So it's connected to my phone. Now, and you always get this message, there's no way to get rid of that. Okay, so now, once you get that message, the bike sits quietly and it does not play the music. And what I thought I had to do was, I thought I had to go into here. And so if I'm gonna go back in here and switch this back over to this display, I thought I had to go into here, and then normally when you start it up, it says, what do you want to play? And then I thought I had to pick Bluetooth, because that's the way the bike comes cold, right? Is you'd have to come in here, open that, open that, open that. Well, come to find out that just as soon as you got this light on down here, and you normally get that little message that I showed you here just a minute ago where it says you're connected to your phone. All you have to do to start playing music, if the music app is all set on your phone, is press this button. You press that button, music starts playing. It's beautiful. Doesn't matter where you're at, you press that button. If it doesn't work, press it again, because you might have just paused it. And then the other thing is, if that didn't work, is to press the volume button. So press the volume up or down, and then that will kick it in. And so that combination of those buttons usually gets you there, and it's so much faster. So lots of little tips and tricks here that I learned in the last 3,000 miles. Man, this bike is getting better and better now that I'm knowing how to use it. And just let me know what you've done too down in the comments. I want to see what you guys have as well. It's always fun sharing these little tips and tricks. So I hope you like this. Please like, share, and subscribe. Drop some comments down there for me. Let me know what you're thinking, how you like it. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.